Hello there and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be looking at the top 4 scariest true stories. Let's get right into it.
Number 1. The headlights that wouldn't leave.
I was driving home around 2 a.m., just a normal night after work. The roads were empty, no cars, no people. Streetlights flickered now and then, but most of the road was dark. It felt too quiet, the kind of quiet where your ears start to ring a little. Still, I didn't think much of it. About 10 minutes in, I noticed headlights behind me. Not strange at first, just another car. I barely paid attention. But after a while, I realized they weren't getting closer. They weren't falling back either. Just there. Same distance. No overtaking. No turning off. I sped up a little, so did they. I slowed down. They slowed too. That's when it started to feel wrong. I checked my mirror more carefully. The lights looked dim, almost dull, like they weren't fully on. I couldn't make out the driver. Just a shape behind the wheel, sitting too still. I turned onto a smaller road near some trees, thinking I'd lose them. It was the kind of road locals use, not somewhere you'd just randomly go. But they followed. No hesitation, no delay. Like they already knew where I was going. My chest felt tight now. I picked up my phone for a second, thinking about calling someone, but I didn't even know what I'd say. Then I looked back again. The headlights were gone, but the car wasn't. I could still see it, just a dark shape gliding behind me, keeping the same distance. No lights, no sound, just there. I slammed the gas. My hands were shaking on the wheel as I sped toward the nearest petrol station a few miles ahead. The whole way there, I didn't dare look back again. When I finally pulled in, lights flooding the area, I stopped hard and turned around. The road behind me was empty, no car, no headlights, nothing at all. A few seconds later, I saw those same dim headlights pass slowly by the entrance without ever turning in.
Number 2. The 3 taps.
Didn't think much of the noise at first. It was just a soft knock, 3 taps, slow. From the front door, I checked the time. 2:17 a.m. No one visits that late. No one I know anyway. I stayed in bed, staring at the ceiling, trying to convince myself it was nothing. Maybe pipes. Maybe someone outside messing around. Then it came again. 3 taps. Same rhythm. Calm. Almost patient. I sat up. My room felt different now, too quiet, like the whole house was waiting. I got out of bed and walked into the hallway. The floor felt cold under my feet. Every step sounded louder than it should have. I stopped at the front door and leaned in, holding my breath as I looked through the peephole. Nothing. Empty street. No movement. No sound. I stayed there for a few seconds longer, just to be sure. Then I let out a small breath and stepped back. That's when I heard it again. 3 taps. I froze. It wasn't coming from the front door anymore. It was behind me, from my bedroom. Slowly, I turned around. The hallway suddenly felt too long, too dark. My bedroom door was slightly open, just how I left it. I know I left it that way. But now it looked wider. Another 3 taps came from inside the room. I didn't move. I didn't even breathe. I live alone. At least I thought I did. The tapping stopped, and I heard the floor creak, like someone shifting their weight inside my room. Then my bedroom door slowly opened wider, even though I hadn't touched it. That's when I remembered. I never checked the back door before going to bed.
Number 3. The extra passenger.
I drive home the same way every night. Same road. Same turns. Same empty stretch past the fields where there are no streetlights for about a mile. It was just after midnight when I turned onto that road. Nothing unusual. No cars behind me. None coming the other way. Just me in the dark. About halfway down, I checked my mirrors out of habit. That's when I saw it. Someone sitting in my back seat. I flinched and looked properly this time. There was no one there. I let out a shaky laugh, telling myself it was just shadows. The road is pitch black, and my headlights bounce weirdly off the seats sometimes. Still, my hands tightened on the wheel. I kept driving, trying not to look again, but after a few seconds, I couldn't help it. I checked the rearview mirror. There it was again, a shape, sitting directly behind me. Still, too still. I spun around this time, properly looking into the back seat. Empty, completely empty. Now my heart was racing. I knew what I saw, twice. I told myself to just keep driving. Don't stop. Don't think about it. I turned the radio on to distract myself, but it was just static out here. No signal. Then, through the noise, I heard something. A soft sound, like breathing, right behind me. I slowly reached up and tilted the rearview mirror again. The back seat was empty, but the headrest directly behind mine was slightly pressed forward like something was leaning on it. I didn't turn around this time. I just drove faster, eyes locked on the road, trying to ignore the sound. Then, right next to my ear, I felt warm air, and a quiet voice whispered, "You saw me."
Number 4. The house at the end of the road.
I was 14 when it happened. Me and 3 of my mates had been talking about that abandoned house for weeks. It sat at the end of a long, broken road, half hidden by trees with boarded windows and a garden that had grown wild. Everyone said it was empty. That didn't stop the stories. So one night we decided to go. Everyone said it was empty. That didn't stop the stories. So one night we decided to go. It was late, just after 11 when we got there. No streetlights, no cars, just the 4 of us in that house, sitting in the dark like it was waiting. At first, we just stood by the gate, messing around, trying to act brave. One of my mates dared us to go inside. No one wanted to be the one who said no. The front door was already slightly open. That should have been the first sign. We stepped inside, using our phone torches. The air smelled damp, like old wood and dust. Every step made the floor creak. We kept close together, laughing quietly, but it didn't feel funny. Not really. The place was wrecked. Peeling walls, broken furniture, bits of glass on the floor. Then we heard it, a noise from upstairs, a soft thud. We all froze. One of my mates said it was probably just something falling over. Another one laughed, but it sounded forced. Then it came again, a slow, heavy step, right above us. We all looked at each other. No one spoke this time. We knew no one was meant to be there. Another step, then another, like someone walking across the room upstairs. One of my mates whispered, "Let's just go." No arguing this time. We turned and started heading back to the door, trying not to run. Then, from the top of the stairs, we heard something move faster. Not walking, rushing. We didn't wait. We sprinted out of the house, nearly tripping over each other, not stopping until we were halfway back down the road. None of us said anything for a while. Then one of them asked, "Did you see that?" I hadn't. But when I turned back toward the house, I saw the upstairs window, and the board that had been covering it before was now hanging loose. So, which one of these stories did you find the scariest one? Make sure to write some of your own stories in the comments below too. Thanks for watching, and feel free to hit like and subscribe for more story content.